this is News Update on SPB TV Africa. I am Kenneth Izemeke. With me in the studio is
Brilliant, Sakachuku.
pensioners take over Benin City over unpaid benefits and other grievances. Yesterday, hundreds of pensioners that retired from the state and local government services took over major roads in Benin City. They blocked Oba Ovarawen Square, and this created gridlock on other roads such as Sapele Road, Airport Road, Siluko roads. Can you give us an insight into the grievances of these senior citizens?
Yes, it's a very regrettable and pitiable one there in Edo State. This is a country where we keep hearing a lot of things and sad stories. And now we're on the case of we're battling with fuel scarcity.
Yes.
And the economic sabotage and crisis that it has caused in
And
the
shortage
country.
of electricity.
Yes, and now we're having a government that cannot even consider the plight of the pensioners. These are old men and have really had faithfully served the country in their state, in their capacity and all of that, even when they've retired. You know, they're still battling with the issue of poverty, issue of health challenges and children upkeeping and all of these things. And we have a government who cannot respond to their plight and all of this. So it's a very, very disastrous one there. So now them registering their grievances in form of protest and all of that, I think this is some of the civil way they can really register their feelings to the government. I pray that the government of Edo State governor himself, Obaseki, should quickly respond to that grievances of the old workers, so and alleviate them from that
from their
concerns
pitiable states.
Yes, that's my concern now. So I pray that the government should have an urgent response to that effect.
Okay, thank you for that. Court orders final forfeiture of property over $228,000 linked to retired Air Force Chief Justice Emeka Anwali yesterday of the Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered the final forfeiture of property and cash suspected to be proceeds of crime. This cash and property has been linked to a retired Air Force Chief, Air Vice Marshal Saliu Atwodu, and his wife Minnie. What's your take on this, considering the fact that a high personnel in our security enterprise should be accused of money laundering, while those in the forefront against Boko Haram and bandits are complaining of lack of equipment?
Yeah, so that's a very terrible one there. But to me, that's the height of cruelty and wickedness. Because these so-called servicemen or ex-servicemen are supposed to protect the interests of the country first. All they do is to siphon public funds. And how many years will they actually live in the earth? Where you see one man and, accumulating this wealth as if the earth is their permanent base. So that's the height of ignorance. And it's a very welcome one there, but we should also see that the money is actually and appropriately returned back to the federal government.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you for that. Buhari apologizes to Nigerians over petrol and power shortages. President Buhari has apologized and expressed sincere regrets for the inconvenience Nigerians are facing presently over the shortage of petrol and power supply. Can you explain the effects of these shortages on Nigerian businesses and the economy generally?
Yes, first and foremost, I wish our president a quick recovery, and I wish him well wherever he is now, but he should also recover fast and return back to the country so that he can actually experience by himself what is going on in the country. Anyway, his admission of fuel scarcity, it's an admission of a poor governance and failure on his own side and his own weakness.
And Nigerians before always accuse him of not being aware of what the citizens are suffering. So I think him apologizing, that means he's actually aware that things are actually bad at the moment.
Being aware is one thing, and also elevating or trying to alleviate what they're suffering is also another thing. Okay, so and because if he's aware, his awareness, is he really experiencing it like Nigerians, like they?
But he has promised that things will get better in the coming days.
Anyway, things getting better. What we want to see as Nigerians is to get on board and let there be a change, because all over the state we experience hardship, the hardship upon the faces of Nigerians. So we are not Nigerians and no longer happy, we're no longer comfortable. It's getting bad and bad. By the way, it's high time the government begin to be accountable, begin to implement good policies that will favor every Nigerians. And by the way, for his admission, that's good score on his own side, but we still really need to see a response, a positive direction, from his side. So later, I think he said he's coming to clamp down on those that are causing a forced fuel scarcity. Anyway, if there be things like that, let there be a very urgent and quick response in that regard.
Thank you for watching today's episode of News Update on SPP TV Africa. Please do not forget to follow us across all social media platforms and do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the bell for notification, that bell. I'm Kenneth Izemeke. Thank you very much.